Hey there, and welcome back to my channel. It's been almost 3 weeks since I last posted, and here I am with a more personal piece. Um, this kind of started out like a song idea, started out as a song idea, and I also wanted to make like a, how do you say, defined version of it as a poem, like something that separated the song version and the poem version. This poem version still sounds a bit like a song. I removed some of the more elements that uh, played it like a song, I guess. Um, the other one structure, like the song one, is fairly different. They ended up being a bit different, kept the same themes. Um, I'm not gonna do a reading this time around. I'm just going to have you pause uh, the video and read it yourself if you want to. I'm just gonna straight up um, jump into the analysis of this poem. So, what I'm gonna do is, like, you're seeing this screen, and then I have another page, and that's the end of it. So feel free to pause on this as well and read it. And now we're back to the beginning. And yeah, I didn't mention this last time, but um, before I get into this, feel free to pause the video if you wanna, I don't know, analyze it yourself. Leave a comment down below telling me how you interpreted this, how you felt about this. It's much appreciated. Alright, so getting into it. Um, this poem, I wrote this one based on an experience that I had yesterday. Um, to sum it up, I had this friend group that I created about a year ago. I had known some of these people even from before, and we went through a bunch of stuff together, like some events and stuff that took place in our friend groups from before. And I wanted to just create a different space for us where, we would be in a safer environment, free to express ourselves away from all of the toxicity that went on in our previous friend groups. I'm pretty good at getting people together, but sometimes I feel like I struggle when it comes to really making them stay connected. Because a huge issue that we as people can deal with in general um, is that we never really let go of those kindergarten kind of cliques where we're like, oh, like, I don't want to play with Barry because he's like so weird. Let's not share our toys with him. And the issue that we had is that over time, um, these kind of cliques formed between some of the members of our group. And we were meant to be more like an open community, like a big friend group. But then people started making this sort of exclusive inner club that was kind of like secretive and stuff. And they even made private events and excluded people. And I had noticed some things, and I didn't instantly call them out on it, but then, like, just 2 nights ago, I found out a piece of information that kind of just changed everything, and I had to just talk to them about it. So I talked to one of the people who organized said private event. It was kind of like in competition with some of the events that I was trying to set up in that community. So what they did is like instead of joining my events, they created their own because apparently they said, and I quote, they don't vibe with me. And I gave them no reason to do this. I thought that we were even on good terms, and there was no clue as to them being upset with me. Like, they did not communicate that to me. And, like, if like somebody has a problem with you and like you're all in this big friend group, it's better not to create drama and just no, if you have like business with someone, just deal with it. Don't let it fester because a lot of people think drama is like, oh, like I don't want to start shit, like I don't want to start drama, but it's like when you let something fester like this, now that's real drama. So if you have a problem with someone, you should just go address it. Like we're all adults here. There's no reason to build up resentment over silly things. Like, and when I confronted them about it, they didn't even have like a good reason for doing this. They just said, "Oh, like I just wanted to hang out with people that I'm more comfortable with." And it's like, so you're just saying that you don't like the rest of us, and you'd rather have this curated bubble wrapped, soda wrapped. I'm just making things up at this point, but yeah, this sort of curated bubble wrapped environment where it's like nobody challenges you, like everybody's on the exact same wavelength as you all of the time. And to be honest, I think it sounds like a pretty stagnant environment to be in, if you ask me. The thing is, when you have like a bigger friend group or you're part of a community, you're not always going to like everybody. But starting exclusive clubs and, kind of like doing this thing where someone's planning a party and then you're planning a party that gets people away from the main party. It's like a competition of parties, and that's not a friend thing to do. Considering that we were all friends, starting competing events, it was a very purposefully divisive action. And the more I talked to this person about it, the more clear it was. I mean, we didn't even need to talk for that long because they just told me, like, they made like a bullet point, like a short bullet point of reasons why I or several other people weren't invited to what they had planned. And, I was just kind of like, okay, fair enough. Thank you for telling me. Have a good night. And then they were just like talking more about it. And I'm just like, in my head, I mean, this is clear enough for me. And midway through the text, they're saying, oh, someone else is texting me and they're making me fall asleep. Let's talk more about this tomorrow. And I'm just kind of, yeah, I mean, you know what? I think this is pretty clear enough for me. But have a good night. And the next day, I thought about things a little bit more. And this friend group, it just it's kind of one of those things where you just need to let it go. Like, if you love it, let it go. Because it's had this issue with cliques for a while now. And I realized that it was something that I was just not able to fix. Like, people, they have the right to hang out with whomever they want. But I also just wasn't going to willingly associate myself with a community that does something like this. I wasn't willing to support this. Like, I was in charge of said community, and I felt like we failed to do what we set out to do. there were multiple instances which proved this to me, and this last thing was just the last drop in the bucket. And yeah, it just had to be done. Like, if you love it, let it go. And sometimes you lose your place in a community, but they also lose you. It's kind of like you outgrow it, but it also outgrows you. And it just felt like one of those things where I just didn't feel like I had my place in there anymore, and I just felt like no matter what, I just couldn't make a change that could remedy the issues that we were dealing with. As I said, I feel like I'm a lot better with getting people together, and I seem to struggle with keeping them together. It seemed like my intentions when I started said community, maybe not everyone was in for the same mission, or maybe the mission got lost along the way. Could be just that. But the point is, it's kind of like one of those things where the kindergarten cliques. As adults, it just feels like it's just like a different flavor of that. It's also just like high school again, but you're just older, and there's no institution that you belong to. It's just high school, but we're adults. Like, we're just older, and there's no set institution. And nothing really is different with some people. They still tend to behave in the same patterns, the same, you could even say, immature ways of communication. Their communication skills are still at the same level. Some people definitely have this issue where their body grows, but their maturity levels, or their mind even, it doesn't grow at the same pace. That's definitely a thing for a lot of people. But anyway, yeah, that's kind of like the theme of this poem. Let you into my club, open entrance, no ticket fee. Um, this basically signifies how, and like, everybody welcome, let's have fun. It's kind of like the, let's say, mission statement, if you will, of the community. It was meant to be just this open space where everybody was welcome. We were all just like a big friend group, like friend of a friend kind of thing. You don't have to be besties with everybody, but it's like we're still in here together. We're all adults. We can share the same space as adults. Like, that was the mission, being able to share the same space as adults in harmony. Um, but as soon as the party took an intermission, you came in with your mission, picked your corner, put around barbed wire fence. This is basically referencing the fact that there were moments in the life of this friend group um, where me, as kind of like the leader, like organizer of this friend group, I had to take mental health breaks from it, because the whole clique issue, and like me feeling left out, and feeling like no matter how I tried, and like who I talked to about this, and whatever action I tried to take, I just felt like it just wasn't helping the situation whatsoever. And I really needed some mental health breaks in between, just some time away from this group. That's the intermission thing. And then during the intermission, it seemed like people just got closer to each other in this kind of way where they just made their sort of exclusive club. Like we didn't have these um, this spirit of like keeping us together. It's just like people just coming in and like hanging out with whoever they wanted to and like not giving a crap about anybody else, like just selectively picking who they hang out with and making it into this sort of do not trespass sort of area, hence the barbed wire fence. Even Camo did, but you're not subtle, babes. People see you and they stare. Not the kind of attention you were hoping for. Not the same you receive from your VIP pass holders, huh? Yeah, this poem I forgot to mention, but it's going to be getting a bit sassy, that's for sure. Um, Definitely has a sassier energy to it. And what I mean by camo, it's like they kind of like snuck around with it, but there were also instances where you could see that it was happening, wasn't hidden as well as they thought it would be. And also when they got called out on the whole excluding people, like one of them straight up admitted to doing it, and the other person, when they were talking to another one of my friends, they said, oh, we never excluded people, why would we ever do that, and just lying about what they did or withholding information from people. You could just come out and say it, like we did this because XYZ. And later, this person, they certainly did that. Um, they didn't want to do it over DMs, but they hopped on a call with my friend and they explained some sort of magical reason. Like they gave my friend some magical reason pill, if you will. Um, I don't know, maybe they just gave him like 20 liters of the Kool-Aid, like I don't know. But my friend came out on the other side saying that he suddenly understands. And honestly, I don't really know what sort of justification somebody could have for um, lying, gaslighting, due to the way that he spoke to my friend. And then just, I don't know, just everybody just being okay with it. Like, I don't know. It's like people caught you in the act, and then you're trying to twist the story into this whole other thing of, oh, it wasn't that, it was this other thing. Just trying to paint the shitty thing that you did in this sort of positive light. It's kind of like ritualistic almost. Like people people saw what they did, like they read the situation, but then they come in with the VIP pass and it's like, yeah, you're just one of us now. Like, welcome to the club. Here's the Kool-Aid, the 20 liter Kool-Aid. Just drink it and you'll be fine. Did I miss the initiation as you dangled the VIP ticket in my face that you just won't sell to me? Refused entry at the Midway corridor? Yeah, it's just kind of like called them out on it, and the person that I did talk to, they were very blunt about it, just saying that they just didn't vibe with me, and you know what, that's fair, but their kind of explanation was that it felt like they were saying that I was more absent and that's why they weren't comfortable with me. But this person kind of knew that I was in a dark place and that I was struggling to keep everyone together. So if they really wanted to be a friend to me, they could have. I just don't understand how you can become comfortable with someone if you avoid them. It's just that this person, they weren't seeking to connect with me. They were seeking to be comfortable in their own world. And it's just not what I wanted for a community. I didn't want people to act selfishly in that kind of way. I wanted us to be united, to have like a united front, not people coming in the community and then like whispering around and then building this sort of little VIP corner. It's definitely not something that I wanted for us. Oh no, Elite Click Club, Pretty Princess Club, can't make it in, I'm doomed, so doomed. Yeah, this is just my petty energy coming in there. Kinda was more fitting for the song. I understood the rules and tried to leave, but you pulled and yanked me back like a chain. Just like the flimsy chain that holds your friendships together. Comfort over realness, not my style, babes. And yeah, this was just kind of like my conversation with them that night. I know, like, I understand what you mean. It's pretty clear to me. And therefore, I wish to end the conversation. But then they were like, oh, no, let's talk about it some more, as if it wasn't clear enough to me. Like, they literally made a bullet point kind of thing for me, which perfectly summarized the way that they were feeling. And I got it, I did get it. I think I would have been fine if the conversation didn't keep going. I think I could have kept at it with the whole community thing for a while more. But the way that the conversation kept going, that was just really bad. Like, I respect people's autonomy. I don't want people to feel forced to interact with me. But yeah, the way that it was handled and, um, my priorities, what I set out to do with said community, it just felt wrong. It just wasn't my style what was happening. I was aware of issues that I knew I couldn't fix, and I just didn't want to be stuck in that whole purgatory. I said, have a good night. You told me wait, and there you were, not letting me in, but also just trying to keep me in the hallway. And yeah, this is referencing the fact that they were like, oh yeah, here's the reasons why we didn't invite you and those other people. And then I said, oh cool, okay. Um, have a good night, like I understand. And then they said, oh no, let's talk about it some more. As if you're like twisting the knife in my wound. And yeah, you didn't have to stab me with the same knife used by the previous hitman, passed down like a family heirloom. You all just taking your turns. Like I'm a multi-million-dollar bounty that everybody's got their eye on. So this is kind of referencing this person knew that I was in a dark place, and I just have this recurring theme with friendships where instead of communicating, I just find out things in this sort of explosive way. It's like you're facing away from someone, you're with your back, and it's kind of like you don't even hear their footsteps, you don't hear anything, and boom, you're just stabbed in the back. And it's that familiar feeling. It's a wound that's healed once before. But you can still feel it in the same spot. The pain is a very familiar one. It's an intricately woven one. I didn't see it coming. I saw things differently. Back when I opened my club, I saw an open space. I saw some room to dance, but it didn't have to end up this way. And once again, going back to the reason why we started said community, I just envisioned things differently than the whole clique issue that we had going on. Was meant to be this open space where we would all just be able to hang out harmoniously. It's okay, barbed wire fence. Don't want to tear up my dress. Spend too much time on it. And this is just referencing the fact that I saw the reality of things and I just wanted to accept it with grace. But it just felt like I was being pulled toward the barbed wire fence. Like when I said no, like, okay, I get it, I was pulled back into it. And then after the fact of me um, leaving said community, I found out that one other person in this sort of clique was trying to manipulate one of my friends, as I said. And it's just, yeah, I spent too much time building the piece that I have now. Oh, what's wrong? The document changed a little odd. But yeah, um, as I was saying, it's about the dress here being like this woven dress that you spent too much time on it. It's about respecting the piece that you built for yourself. Being stuck in the middle of a situation like this and then, picking yourself back up, taking those breaks, valuing your mental health, and then you have people who are trying to drag you into this messy narrative. And babes, I value my time, so I'll let you go at your pace as I pull the curtains to hide you away, just like you wanted. And this is just kind of about my exit from said community slash friend group. I just recognized the fact that I just didn't have a place in there anymore. I wasn't welcome in the inner circle, if you will. I mean, no longer welcome. And yeah, it was just time to just let it go. If people want privacy, pull their curtains, hide them away. If that's what they want, respect their decision and also respect yourself and your own time. But yeah, um, just want to clarify once again, um, I do respect other people's autonomy, but it's kind of like when you start a community with someone and like you set these goals, like you all agree on it, like here's what we're here to do. We want to play things differently because we had been through other communities and other friend groups before that they had their own problems. And we wanted something different. We all wanted to be united. But then some new people started coming in, and it started shifting into this whole other mess. And, like, I'm not the boss of people, but I wanted us to be able to communicate like adults and not have it be some twisted version of a kindergarten kind of clique or like a high school kind of classroom where you only go up to talk to that friend that you really like, or that person that you really have a crush on. Because let me tell you, um, there was also an issue with dating and stuff, and you know how that complicates friend groups as well. That can also get quite messy, and people, you know, neglecting their relationships with others in favor of said pursuits. That's also a messy theme to explore. But yeah, this was just me um, making sense of my pain. I respect other people's decisions, just like how they should respect mine. This wasn't about hating on people, spreading hate. It was about mourning. This might sound a bit too extra, but mourning a legacy, mourning um, a house burnt down, a house that we built together, and it just burnt and you know crashed into flames. And mourning all of that time that I poured into it, that we poured into it together. That's what the Midway corridor is about. That's the essence of it. Damned be the people who, you know, set this sort of inspiration up. It's it's just the core essence of losing a part of yourself. That's what it is about. But anyway, don't want to go rambling too much about this theme since I'm running out of things to say. But yeah, um, thank you for being here with me as I unpacked all of this with you. And I'll be seeing you around. Till next time.